And then on our part for the Deputy Governor, then we would want to ask you, what...
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to move the following motion. Being the hearing and determination on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of the Honorable Dr. Robert Monda, the Deputy Governor of Kisii County. That whereas, pursuant to Article 181 and of the Constitution and Section 33 of the County Governments Act, on Saturday, 29th February 2024, the Kisii County Assembly approved a motion to remove from office by impeachment Honorable Dr. Robert Monda, the Deputy Governor of Kisii County, and further, whereas by a letter dated 1st March 2024 and received in the office of the Speaker of the Senate, on Saturday, 2nd March 2024, the Speaker of the Kisii County Assembly informed the Speaker of the Senate of the approval, the motion by the County Assembly, and further forwarded to the Speaker of the Senate documents in evidence of the proceedings of the Assembly. Further, whereas pursuant to Article 181 of the Constitution, Section 33 of the County Governments Act, and Standing Order Number 80 of the Senate heard and the County Assembly on the grounds for the proposed removal from office by impeachment of the Honorable Dr. Robert Monda, the Deputy Governor of Kisii County. And further, whereas pursuant to Article 181 of the Constitution and Section 33 of the County Governments Act and Standing Order Number 80, the Senate also heard the Honorable Dr. Robert Monda on the grounds for his proposed removal from office by impeachment as the Deputy Governor of Kisii. Now, therefore, Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Article 181 of the Constitution, Section 33 of the County Governments Act, and Standing Order Number 80, the Senate resolves to remove from office by impeachment the Honorable Dr. Robert Monda, the Deputy Governor of Kisii, on the following charges. 1, gross violation of the Constitution of Kenya or any other law. 2, abuse of office. 3, gross misconduct. And 4, crimes under the national law. Mr. Speaker, with your permission, may I pick my moving notes? Mr. Speaker, as I move this very important motion, I want to start, Mr. Speaker, by saying that today is a day at the bottom of my heart, to the very best of the clarity of my mind, I'm offered a day to celebrate the integrity of the women of the Republic of Kenya. Why? Because, Mr. Speaker, of 2 women in Kisii, a woman by the name of Lucy Wahito and a woman by the name of Gladys Aminga. I'm celebrating these women in my heart, Mr. Speaker, because I've looked at the evidence, both in affidavit and what they said in the county assembly when the matter was there. And I think these are women of integrity. The Deputy Governor has spent a lot of energy to twist evidence surrounding the affidavits of these 2 women, and Mr. Speaker, they have stood their ground. Woman by the name of Lucy Wahito. After the Deputy Governor received the said 800,000 shillings, he quickly transferred that money to Lucy. And Lucy was brave enough to ask the deputy governor, what is this money for? And the deputy governor told her, and I'm reading from her affidavit, this is money in line with what we had discussed. I'll not go into details because we don't have time. And the woman asked him to take it back. He did not. She sent back the money. That is integrity. What we were told in English, that integrity means doing the right thing even when nobody is watching. Mr. Speaker, Gladys Aminga was also looped in. This time, to my mind, the deputy governor was desperate. Now that the money had come back, he needed to send the money somewhere. So he took the money to Lucy and connected it to some other requests of nephews and whatnot who wanted to be given a through pass to be given a business at the docket of Gladys. Gladys stood her ground, and if you go through the evidence, Mr. Speaker, she has written in her own handwriting, trying to clarify to us what compelled her. That, Mr. Speaker, is integrity. My second point, Mr. Speaker, is I want to acknowledge through this moving this motion, for the first time in the many years I have presided over proceedings of impeachment, I have seen humility in legal teams. The legal team from the county assembly has been very humble. They have not tried to be verbose. They have not tried to lecture us. They have not tried to show us how they are learned friends and what have you. They have pursued evidence. I congratulate the legal team of the county assembly. Mr. Speaker, I'm so proud that we have sat on a matter that the defendant had none other than Katwa Kigen. This is one of the most distinguished lawyers, not just in this country, but in the region and internationally. I had never known that I would have an opportunity to listen to Katwa Kigen, none other than the brain that addressed the International Criminal Court. Katwa is a great man. And Katwa, that humility has completely changed my understanding of the legal profession. My third point, Mr. Speaker, is academic, as I support the removal of the governor, the deputy governor. Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, in the history of democracy, the greatest senator who ever lived in the United States of America was Senator William Wilbright. He was so great that he wrote and spoke to the story of power. He has got a beautiful book. I'll invite you, if you have time, acquaint yourself with it if you haven't. The book, Mr. Speaker, is called The Arrogance of Power. William Fulbright spoke about the arrogance of power. What you saw the deputy governor of Kisii doing to his own blood brother, Reuben Monda, collecting enforcement officers and doing to this brother of his, the brother who suckled the same breast with him, is the true definition of the arrogance of power. Once you have power, you can do many things, including what Deputy Governor of Kisii did. My fourth point, Mr. Speaker, is at my professional level. In behavioral science, we have something called split personality. which in medical science we refer to as dissociative identity disorder. This is a disorder, Mr. Speaker, whereby a normal person like all of us creates two personalities, personality A and personality B. And they choose to live without knowing that they're abnormal in one personality to serve them at moment X and another personality to serve them at moment B. This disorder is what I witnessed when witness Joseph Misato? Yes? Misati. When Joseph Misati was speaking, it was classical medical description of this disorder. Here is a man who is a very poor polygamist. The guy, his wife died many years ago. And she left him with beautiful children, one of them Dennis. So, Misati, who says that he loves Dennis, when he's in personality A, he's with Dennis in his mind, with Dennis' biological brother, and the late wife. Exit personality A, he goes to B, the guy then goes to the personality of the second wife, with the joint business account, with her children, who, by the way, some of us do research before we debate in this house, who, by the way, has children who Joseph Misati has already put in placement. It is that personality B that has been in this house, that was telling this house that my son is a liar, my son, ABCD, I will not waste your time by repeating his words. It is so unfortunate. That's why this world needs doctors. My fifth point, and I'm finishing, Mr. Speaker, sir. My fifth point, Mr. Speaker, is my desire to persuade you that let us take Deputy Governor Monda home. It is on the doctrine of law, and this is where I leave it to the lawyers. The doctrine of law, you either do it because you have proved it beyond reasonable doubt, or you have proved it on the balance of probability. On the balance of probability of this doctrine, we would be lying to the country, we would be lying to the people of Kisii, that on that balance, A, the boy did not sell his business. He has given us evidence. We would be lying to the country, dear colleagues, that the boy did not send 800,000 in the manner he did. On the balance of probability, Mr. Speaker, sir, we would be lying if we discounted the evidence by the two great women that I've praised at the beginning. My final point, Mr. Speaker, which is point number 6, is on the borderline of philosophy of religion. I am not a very religious person because I don't understand the Bible, but I believe in God. And on that philosophy, Mr. Speaker, many of you have heard that God made man, and man made money, and money made man mad. The madness you're seeing in this house today, Mr. Speaker, where a father can go against his own son, and a deputy governor can go against his brother, is the madness that money has created in society. I move and I request the distinguished senator from Migori to second my motion for removal of Robert Monda. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.